Travis, watch out, do something about the shit. Come on, man, do something about it.
Move well for a big girl.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the BlitzCity Podcast. And you know what we got to do. We got to recap the Orange Blossom Classic. And I'm going to do this quick because honestly, there's no need to go on and on. We know what we saw. But I wanted to wait. I didn't want to go live last night. I didn't want to talk about it last night because I was so excited that I felt like I was going to be a prisoner of the moment and be a little too unrealistic in my take because I was so excited for Jackson State. So I wanted to sleep on it. I wanted to come back to it. I wanted to watch the tape again, and I wanted to see if I was right. If I still felt the same. I do. Now let's start with the offense. Shedeur Sanders, top 3 FCS quarterback. A future pro quarterback. Definitely the best in the SWAC by a landslide. No more disrespect to Shedeur Sanders. No more disrespect to Shedeur Sanders. No more of that game manager stuff. None of that. No more of that daddy ball stuff. None of that. He showed you why he's one of the best today. His stats: 29 for 33, 330-something yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, didn't even come close to an interception. Oh, he showed you. He showed you why he's one of the best today. So let's cut that out. He was talked about on ESPN. If you go on YouTube, his highlights are going viral, and for good reason. Man, was he just throwing that thing out there. The most underrated thing about him that he needs credit for as well is that he's able to maneuver the pocket like a running quarterback. He's able to maneuver the pocket and buy time like he's a running quarterback, and he's not. He's gotten faster. The arm has gotten stronger. If you wanted to call him the best quarterback in the FCS, nobody could blame you at this point. The progression from last year to this year, from his freshman to sophomore year, is crazy. He doesn't hold the ball too long anymore. That's done. He's very decisive. He's very surgical. He's deadly. You can't give him time like that. And FAMU did. The defense was spectacular. But you know what? I'm not even done with the offense yet. The wide receiver core, astounding. If you're a defensive coordinator and you do not have the depth at the DB room to compete with Jackson State, they're going to suffocate you. And we might be seeing this all season. Seriously, we might be seeing this all season. They didn't even have Malachi Wadman. Malachi Wadman did not make the trip. Let that sink in. They didn't have Malachi Wadman. They didn't even utilize all the receivers that they had week 1. That's scary, man. Dallas Daniels, he showed why he's going to be that favorite target for Shedeur. Rico Powers, dog. Shane Hooks, he's hungry. With the run game, a lot better than last year. The offensive line, light years ahead of where they were last year. The run wasn't going to be a priority. I don't care that the stats wasn't eye-popping. What I looked at was that Sivion Wilkerson and J.D. Martin, who deserves the majority of the carries. Both average 5 yards a carry. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. Going to the defense. The secondary, crazy. The front 7, scary. As a matter of fact, all that talk about what are y'all going to do without James Houston, I don't want to hear it no more. 4+ sacks, and that's only because I don't know the real number of sacks they had. But it was more than 4. They don't need James Houston. The front 7 is just as good. And they didn't even have Katron Evans. Katron maybe comes back next week. Shiloh Sanders comes back next week. They scary, man. This isn't like last year where you could have said, you know what, the defense is that good because of the front 7 and not the secondary. The secondary was weak for Jackson State last year. That's what people thought. You can't say that this year. Because Travis only got picked on 3 times. And every single time, it wasn't even close to being a completion. K5, Kevrick Wiggins, looked amazing. Isaiah Bowden played damn good. The safeties, we already know what they do. Cam looks a lot better in coverage. The front seven, Doyle was eating. Niles Gaddy is so much better than where he was last year. They dominated every phase of that game. Special teams, dominated. This is scary, man. Next week is going to be a real test. Because FAMU is not a concern anymore. You got to worry about Tennessee State. We know they went to Eastern Washington and they played a hell of a game versus the 13th ranked team in the country. And we know that Jackson State is still going to come out and they're going to do what they're going to do. But we're going to talk about Tennessee State later on in this week. This is going to be a fun-ass team to watch. Mark my words. This is going to be a fun team to watch. Now, top performances of the week. That is soon to come. Look out for that video. Oh, man. I don't know what else to say about this team. Coach Bartolone did a great job calling plays. Coach Thurman has to be pleased with this defense. He ain't going to be pleased with that 3 points that I know, but he has to be pleased with his defense. This team wanted to dominate. Coach Prom told you he wanted to dominate. He wanted to beat people to sleep. And he's doing it. He's doing it. So, y'all let me know what you thought down below in the comment section. As for things they could have did better, it's week 1. You have to knock off the rust. I get it. But take advantage of all those situations. You could have had well over 60 had Herman Smith caught that interception and ran it in. You could have had well over 60, in my opinion, if that holding call in the red zone when J.D. Martin got it to the 5, if that doesn't happen. Just simple things like that. It wasn't much, but simple things like that. If this is the starting point for South Carolina State, if this is the starting point for Jackson State, it's going to be a hell of a season. It's going to be a hell of a season. With that being said, you're watching the BlitzCity Podcast. I'm your host, Kobe Orr.